Expectation is such a powerful thing. A belief is just a thought you keep thinking. An expectation is a thought that you've thought about so much and kept active in your vibration for so long that you just keep realizing it. Law of attraction just keeps showing you versions of it until you say, see, that's why I believe it. I believe it because it's true. And we say, no, it's true because you believe it. You say, no, I'm sure that I believe it because it's true. I've been a collector of information, Abraham. I've been living my life and I'm just not good at that. Or these things that I want just don't come to me. And we say, but the reason they don't is because you think they don't. And you say, yeah, but I think they don't because they don't. And we say, yes, but they don't because you think they don't. You say, no, I didn't think they wouldn't until they didn't. And since they aren't coming, now I think they're not coming. And we say, well, somehow you've got to figure out how to break that cycle, because the universe is not giving you what you're saying with your words. The universe is giving you what you're offering vibrationally. And what you're offering vibrationally, in other words, the universe is giving you what you mean. The universe is giving you what you expect. The universe is giving you what you've practiced thinking about. And so we get it, that it's not the easiest thing in the world. In fact, it might be one of the hardest things in the world to think differently than what is, because you have become so very good in your observation of what is, in your assessment of what is, in your restating of what is, in your documenting of what is, in your regurgitating of what is, in your seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, in your physical translation of what is feels pretty solid to you. But we want you to know it isn't solid, it's changing all the time. But in many cases, it's just changing to more of the same because that's what you're thinking about. Do you get that? It's not holding steady. It's changing to your current expectation. But if your current expectation is just like the one you had yesterday and the one you had the day before and the one you had the day before, then it holds steady and you say, see? That's why I believe it. I believe it because that's how it is. And we say, no, it is because that's what you believe. Oh, Abraham, not that again, please, not that again. So we want to help you to realize that you are so much more than this physical being that you know as you, this magnificent physical being that you know as you, that you are an extension of source energy, and that source energy part of you exists even now. All of you didn't come forward into this personality. The larger part of you remains as this eternal consciousness, non-physically focused, pure positive energy. But here you are in this body, in this personality, and most important, in this current opinion, in this belief, in this expectation. Here you are offering a vibration that law of attraction is responding to. But the most important thing to realize about that is that the reason that you feel the emotions that you feel is because that inner being part of you, that source energy part of you, that non-physical part of you, that eternal, always eternally being part of you is having right here, right now, an opinion right here, right now about the very same thing that you're having an opinion about right here, right now. In other words, when you see that guy and you just hate that guy, so annoying in this way and this way and this way, the reason that you feel the discomfort that you would call hatred or whatever it is that you're feeling is because the source within you feels differently. Once we got Esther's attention about that, she said to us a few hundred times, Abraham, you clearly need more information about this. I'm sure if you knew what I know, you would not be sitting on your airy fairy cloud. If you knew what I know, you would feel about this like I feel about this. And it took a while for Esther to come to understand that we don't go there. And when she does, she feels the separation is too strong a word, but she feels the vibrational variance between who she really is and who she's allowing herself to be in that moment. And that discord is really what we want to talk about. Because this gathering is about the art of allowing, the art of allowing alignment rather than discord, the art of being tuned in, tapped in, turned on to who you really are rather than being separated is too strong a word, but you can pinch yourself off pretty good from who you really are and what you really know. So over time, we've been talking with you about who you are. You are so important to the equation of the eternal expansion that we all are. He said, I'll go into this physical experience and I'll explore and I'll see, I'll hear, I will experience the contrast, the variety. And out of it, I will come to my personal conclusions about what I personally prefer. And the reason that you did that so clearly, you knew that so clearly before you got here, is because you understood that the whole purpose of the variety is for choosing. You said, I'll make choices that are important to me. And you knew that in doing that, you would launch rockets of desire, that you would send out vibrational rockets, because you weren't even considering your vocabulary in those days. You knew that you were an emanator of perspective, that you would emanate with clarity whatever it was that you were giving your attention to. And when you know what you don't want, you emanate a rocket of what you do want. And we said, and we will remain here, non-physically focused, free of all resistance of a physical nature. And when you send off a rocket of something you prefer, we will hold steady to that rocket, and we will hold firm to the equation that you are establishing moment by moment. And as you evolve because of this time-space reality, so will we. And we will hold to the expansion that you carve out. And you said, okay. Sounded really good to you, because you knew that as we held to that expansion, that you would be able to tell in every moment by the way you feel how close to your expanded version you are holding, or how much you have deviated from it, you see. So your emotions let you know. If you're feeling wonderful, that means you've launched lots of rockets of desire, and you are in this moment not offering a thought, belief, or expectation that contradicts the desire that you hold. You're right up to speed with who you are. And in that moving with the flow of who you really are, you feel elation, you feel passion, you feel exhilaration, you feel really good, you feel love and appreciation, you feel joy. But if you are feeling frustration or overwhelmment, if you are feeling angst of any kind, if you are feeling anger, or if you are feeling grief, if you are feeling revenge, or any of those negative emotions that feel like despair or fear, then that means that your perspective in this moment is so far apart from the perspective of your source about the same thing. That's the most important thing to understand. It isn't that we are focused upon something entirely different and that's why we feel good. We're focused upon what you're focused upon and we feel good. And that is, no matter how you try to figure it out, what unconditional love really is. We maintain our alignment with that which is love, regardless of the condition. Now, Esther wants to say, well, Abraham, if you were in the condition where I am, you might be feeling differently. And we say, do not argue for your conditional limitations. If you will distract yourself from the condition that is causing you the separation from all that you are, from all that we are, from that which is life, from that which is love, from that which is source, if you'll just cut that out, you'll feel good.
Thank you. Your warm-up was perfect, and I've been thinking about beliefs and momentum and the analogy.
Momentum is our favorite word because momentum and law of attraction are the same thing, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I get that. And so this model I've been thinking of is, I'm the tree, my beliefs are these strong limbs, and then the momentum are, core beliefs are the strong limbs, and then additional beliefs that spring from that are smaller branches that come out. And so what I'm interested in is thinking about core beliefs and adjusting and changing those. And as I wonder about perhaps trimming some of the branches back and not getting at a core belief.
The thing is, we get what you're saying, but what you're actually saying and meaning is, I've got beliefs that are hard to change. So I'm trying to whittle them down just a little bit.
Well, that's what I wonder. Are they?
And what we really want to say is, rather than thinking about beliefs that you want to change, because when you think of something that needs to change, you're looking right at it, and it's not changing, it's getting stronger. Every time you look at it, it grows deeper roots and more branches. In other words, it goes down and out. And so when you instead think about what you'd like to think about, what we've been saying for a little while is that the way to stop practicing beliefs that you no longer want to perpetuate is by making them more and more general. Now, that's what your tree analogy was about.
Right.
But in your analogy, from our perspective, the leaves on the tree are the more specific. The branches are the more general. But also in your analogy, the branches were the more core beliefs. And so you're sort of getting in your own way about that.
Yep.
Just in general terms, when you are general, you are less specific. Write that down. That's really important.
That was good.
Truths of the universe happen here. When you are general, you are less specific. When you are less specific, there is less momentum. So if you can go back to the general that is easier for you to align with, back to the general that is easier for you to find harmony with the source within you. Once you stabilize there, then from that stable, non-resisted vibration, now new evidences of that will fill out the branches of your tree.
That makes a lot of sense. And as I think about that, and I practice that a lot and getting general, I've got little boys that help me get very general and play, and so that's all really good. As far as beliefs, how many core beliefs do people have? Is there and there I am, I'm focused on it again, I get it.
Well, let's get back to the really core of who you are. From the source energy perspective of who you are. So there is not believing, and then there is hoping, and then there is believing, and then there is knowing. That's sort of the continuum of this vibration of belief. So the source within you knows these things about you. And if you want to talk about core beliefs, we think these are the beliefs that we would be focused upon. You are worthy beyond description, and you are brilliant beyond description. You are good. You are source. That is your core. And every bit of moving from that is a flawed premise and a distortion. So there are so many things that humans focus upon out here in the physical world that contradicts their core beliefs. Now, there are many more we can go for. A core belief, a source energy, core belief is that all really is well. That we are eternal beings. So think about how many things that you might stumble across in a day that contradict that knowing that the source within you holds, that well-being does abound. So maybe it would be easier for you to just say, well, I've got one core belief, and that's in well-being. And anytime I deviate from that, then I get crossways of what the source within me really knows. So then you take that knowing that source within you holds, knows, is, and understand that source, inner being, whatever you want to call it, is focused right here out on the leading edge with you, right here in the moment where you're doing whatever it is you're doing, with all of that knowing, that core believing, that opinioning, all of that focused right here with you. And you can tell in every single moment what your deviation of that core is. You can just tell. So we really want to say to you, we don't want to be impertinent, but we sort of kind of do. We want to be so blunt. What difference does it make how many different ways you all have figured out to deviate from the core premise of well-being? In other words, because when you start counting them, those are the things that you're counting. There's just a belief in well-being, a knowing in well-being, an expectation of well-being. And you know what? Well-being continues and continues and continues. Find any little piece of anything that feels good and give it your undivided attention and call it my core belief for today. My core belief for today. things are always working out for me. In what way, in this moment, can the universe demonstrate to me the goodness that is me, the clarity that is me, the love that is me, the worthiness that is me?